Increasingly, it looks as if President Joe Biden has neither the energy nor the acuity to make it to the finish line. And that could be a bad thing for Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Ambition being what it is, if stumbling Joe belly flops, then Big Gretch will most certainly dive into the Democratic primary. That'll bring withering scrutiny from an equally ambitious National Press Corps. No longer will Whitmer's national news clippings be limited to the doodlings of hand-picked sycophants with liberal arts degrees living in cramped Manhattan apartments. Just ask Vivek Ramaswamy, by far the most entertaining contestant in last week's Trumpless GOP reality show. And if you're the most entertaining, you win the internet. With Ramaswamy's win, however, comes the media stink eye. Notice how the East Coast press has zeroed in on his business dealings, his calls for a national revolution, the defunding of Israel, his fantasies of bromancing Vladimir Putin away from China. It'll be hotter for Whitmer because there's an actual record to rummage through. And it's not very good. Some pugnacious reporters eager to make a name for themselves are going to excavate those unflattering facts. To wit, Whitmer has her very own poisoning scandal reminiscent of the Flint debacle. It happened in Benton Harbor, another poor, majority black town that's home to 10,000 people on the shores of Lake Michigan. The state, Whitmer, knew since 2019 that the water there was poisoned from the lead pipes coming in at four times higher than acceptable levels. Whitmer's response was apathetic, to say the least. Residents in Benton Harbor were told to run the tap for a while before using it and to, quote, use cold water for preparing baby formula. Now comes the latest. Dig this. A consultant to her administration, a lawyer, mind you, not a scientist, was employed to monitor Benton Harbor. That consultant, in a 2021 email sent to Whitmer's directors of health and environmental departments, as well as a senior advisor to her, warned of the anemic response to the calamity. But his warning was written in code. The consultant, according to the lawsuit filed against Benton Harbor, wrote English words using corresponding Greek letters. Encrypted writings make it more difficult for reporters to track things down, but not impossible, because this wasn't exactly the stuff of the Navajo code talkers. When translated from Greek back to English letters, the consultant's message read like this. Hot off the presses. As I warned, there are some major red flags. It seems like we're back at square one, not having learned from Flint. That's what he fucking wrote. Whitmer and her team have since been named in a federal class action lawsuit accused of purposefully concealing a toxic lead emergency. And let's not forget Whitmer and her health director's despicable response to the nursing home deaths. Remember when disgraced New York Governor Andrew Cuomo commanded that long-term care facilities accept COVID patients in March of 2020? Whitmer followed suit. Remember that. And then remember a year later when a report by the New York Attorney General, a Democrat no less, exposed that nursing home deaths in New York were undercounted by as much as 50%. The New York media ran Cuomo out of office on a rope. Michigan's Attorney General, Dana Nessel, also a Democrat, punted, despite the fact that corpses were stacking up like cordwood in the staff's rooms of public hospitals. The Michigan Auditor General, however, found that Whitmer's crew undercounted nursing home deaths by at least 43%. And the national media hardly wrote a word. Well, that's going to change. Then there's the crime wave washing over the Great Lakes state. California Governor Gavin Newsom has become a hair-gelled punching bag for the epidemic of shootings, robberies, and junkies flopping out on the streets of Los Angeles and San Francisco. Whitmer's gotten a pass. But crime is bad too in Gretchland. In fact, it's worse. According to NeighborhoodScout.com, Michigan is home to 8 of America's 50 most violent cities. California is home to 3. What's Whitmer's plan? We're waiting to hear it. If Biden bows out, a battalion of coastal media is sure to parachute into Michigan, and they should send up a flare, because I'll be happy to show you around.
Live from downtown Detroit, it's No BS News Hour with my main man, Scotty. Let's go!
No bullshit!
It's just a breaking news. No more bullshit. No more bullshit.
Yeah, here we go. We're open for business. When's the last time you checked your home and auto insurance rates? I know if you haven't checked them lately, you're paying too much. You wouldn't if you're working with Legacy Partners Insurance. They keep an eye on your rates and continuously shop all carriers to make sure you have the best program. If you haven't called them this year, then call them now. Save some money. Save some money. Money's not free, is it, Bob King? Former Grand Poobah of the UAW. How are you, Bob?
I'm good. How are you?
You're in the middle of a commercial, Bob. Let me finish it off. Hold on there. Not only does Legacy do home and auto, they also have great life insurance programs, and they can even get you signed up for Medicaid and Medicare. It's that time of year, right, Bob?
It is that time of year.
Are you on Medicare?
Yes, I am.
That's right.
And because of the UAW, I have great health insurance.
Because of the UAW, he has great. I thought, Bob, that once you turn 65, you have to get on Medicare. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm on Medicare Plan B, but I'm through this, what we call the UAW Retiree Trust Fund. And it's a great, great program.
Little subsidy to your retirement. We're going to get to that because it's big news around here. UAW's voted to give leadership permission to strike. This could have huge ramifications. We're going to get to that. But before we get to that, do me a favor and call Legacy Insurance at 586-209-4106. Everybody in this room does work through Legacy. They're for real. Doesn't cost you. It saves you. And
this message of Uplift is brought to you by business and personal wealth advisor Luke Nowacki, who reminds you that what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but never enter the kingdom of God? But while you're waiting, Nowacki wants you to remember that overreaction is not a sound financial strategy. So call Luke Nowacki at 248-663-4748 for sound financial advice.
Hall Financial is putting more money in your pocket with our exclusive no-fee home loan. That's right, you pay no fees to Hall Financial. So in addition to our nearly 6,000 five-star reviews and our average 9-day turn time from application to close, you now pay no fees to Hall Financial. This is going to save you up to $2,500 in fees that you'd normally pay to the other guys. Start saving now, 866-CALL-HALL, or chat with us at callhallfirst.com.
I know I did. We don't advertise anybody we don't believe in. So, hey, Bob, now, Karen and I were talking a couple weeks ago, and this is a big deal. We're going to ask Bob. We're going to introduce it if it's happening, but it's a big deal, and we needed to talk because, we like to bring something real. Why waste your time listening to this program if something real's not coming? And I'm like, Bob fucking King. This guy. That's the UAW to me growing up around here.
Is that his middle name?
Yeah. Wait, it's Bob T. King.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's right. Bob the fucking man King. I mean, he started working the factory floors. Is this right, Bob?
That's correct.
Okay, he worked it. Did you go to law school while you were working in the plant?
I did.
He did.
Wow.
And then you lived through... like Roger and me, you lived through NAFTA, you lived through normalization of trade with China, you lived through all of it. You lived through the bankruptcy of the big three, and let's not fool ourselves, Ford did go bankrupt without admitting it. Right? They took the loan, right?
Yeah, they were lucky they got a private loan, but without it, they would have been the same place.
So it is Bob King. So, Bob, do you know Karen Dumas?
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
You guys don't know each other?
I think we've been in the same room back in the day.
Back in
but
the day.
Yeah, but
See, because Bob retired in 2014, Detroit went bankrupt in 2013. The
Right.
big 2+ Ford went bankrupt 2009. We've all kind of lived this. So I very much trust Bob. Bob is
he's synonymous with the whole auto industry, UAW, union, the whole 9 yards.
And Bob, I'm going to start out with this. I was on Tucker Carlson's day program, and he asked me, he goes, what do you think about unions? And I said to Tucker, I go, you got to excuse me, I'm from Michigan, Tucker, but when did it become a sin that a person that labored for the product shouldn't share in that profit? And he said, I agree. I didn't used to agree with that, but reality, takes hold. Wisdom comes in, and you realize if we don't share, we're going down. So now, is the membership has ruled or voted to give permission to the board to strike? When is that date, and is the UAW going to go on strike?
Well, I don't know whether the UAW is going to go on strike. Today is September 14th. The president, UAW President Sean Fain, has been very clear. There's no extensions. You've got to come to the plate to give members a fair agreement. If they don't, then Sean and the membership will take the right action.
Do you have any idea how they're going to approach this strike? What is there, about 150,000 auto workers under the UAW umbrella? You have Stellantis, you have Ford, you have GM. Are they going to strike all the plants at the same time? Pick some suppliers, pick one company? What if you don't
Charlie,
know?
I don't honestly know. I don't know. I mean, this is a smart strategy by Sean and the leadership team he's working with. They are not going to say which tool and which way they're going to use until that date, because I think, is good strategy because it keeps pressure on the company.
Well, you're Bob freaking King, so I know they're calling you for advice, talking to you. You've been through it. In fact, you've been arrested a bunch of times. So don't play with me, Bob. Come on, this is the No Bullshit News Hour. Give us something.
I'm respectful of this leadership. I think they're doing a great job. I think they're including the membership to a much higher level than it's been done in a long, long time. But I'm retired. They're the elected leaders. They'll call the shots, and I don't expect them to call and ask me.
Well,
They are there talking to the membership. You see how much Sean's doing another Facebook Live membership today.
Well, let's talk
Keeping them up to
strategy,
speed.
Bob. I mean, you've got a strike fund that, look at the membership. I mean, the likelihood of it being all three, how long could that last? Strategically, would it make more sense for them to do one and use that as leverage? I mean, let's just speak from a position of experience.
Look at you. Yeah.
Well, because I have deep respect to the leadership, I'm not going to speculate on what they're going to do.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
Okay,
fair enough.
we got a no comment. All right, Bob. Now let me go like this then. Let's do some math. Here's what Sean Fain and the UAW leadership is asking for: a 46% raise, a 32-hour work week, the restoration of a cost of living adjustment mechanism, reinstatement of a pension, not a 401k, but a pension, restoration of health care, full restoration of health care for retirees, end of the two-tier hiring system. This sounds great, but would this not bankrupt the cash cow?
Absolutely not.
This would cost each. Let me do this though. This would cost, by some estimates, $20 billion a year for each auto company. The floor is yours, sir.
Okay, I haven't seen the $20 billion figure. That's much, much larger than what I've heard. But here, do you know what percentage of the manufacturing cost of a vehicle is labor cost today? You know that?
No, sir. What is it?
Okay. The Canadian Auto Workers just published a report, 3.7%. I knew it was low. I didn't know it was that low. And then I did some checking after seeing that report. I said, how accurate is it? The Center for Automotive Research at the University of Michigan, last one they did was 2019. And then they said it was 5.1. Well, it's fallen since then, so probably it's not Canadian Auto Workers anymore. It's Unifor. Probably Unifor's numbers are right. So these companies have more than enough money. This is what Sean's been saying. They made $250 billion, $250 billion over the last 10 years. This year alone, they're over $21 billion, and only 2 quarters reporting. They have the money to give a fantastic contract. Those workers deserve a fantastic contract. So it's baloney to me. I get angry when people say it's going to bankrupt them. Baloney.
Bob, it's going to bankrupt them.
No, it isn't, Charlie. I don't believe that.
I'm just trying to get you angry, just trying to get a viral clip here. You know how it goes. I mean, I've belonged to unions my whole life, and it's like I got a fucking 401k, and company sold me out, and they're not doing the right thing. So I agree. Working people should share. I also know that this could be the last great, sweet contract in this terms. We're selling less cars, and they're making more money than ever, and that has to do with the price of a car and inflation. So as we continue to lose real wages, fewer of us are going to be able to afford these beauty electric cars that they're promising, even though the power goes out every fucking time it rains. That's one. Two, when you make an electric vehicle, you need much less human input. So is this possibly, I don't want to do doom and gloom, but it could possibly be the last hurrah for, the muscle on my bone is laid out by you guys. You guys put muscle on my bone, you workers. You paid for my school, bro.
So I think if it's not handled right, it could be a last hurrah. One of the reasons I was excited about Sean's candidacy is because he understands the importance of bringing these battery plants under the master agreements, because they're replacing the engine transmission plants. There'll be different transmissions for electrical vehicles. So all the components have to be put under the master agreement. There are a number of different ways you can do that. But that is essential, because if you go down to just assembly plants, you lose a lot of bargaining power. And you lose a lot of job security for your membership. So in many ways, as important as all these other demands are, this is also critically important. This is about the long-term future of the UAW.
Can you expound upon that a little bit? What do you mean, like bringing these new battery plants into the
agreement?
Into the agreement, unionize them,
putting them under. So there's a number of ways to do it, Charlie. And you have the U.S. labor law, which is so biased against workers. So they're trying to make arguments that it's not a mandatory subject to bargaining. That never bothers the union. If you've got the bargaining power, you tell the companies this is something you have to do. And you've also got, a number of different options. Again, I don't want to speculate, but there's a number of different ways to accomplish the goals of what Sean has laid out. I thought it was really important, what you saw last week, that they got a wage increase for the Ultium battery workers in Ohio, just where you were down in Lordstown. And that was, when I saw the news, I said, what's going on? This isn't what, I know this isn't Sean's goal. And then he clarified it in a Facebook Live that this is an interim agreement. They're still going to fight for those workers. They have exact same contract that General Motors workers have. They'll fight for the battery plants and the other electric components in Stellantis and Ford for the sake of those workers, for the sake of the rest of the current UAW membership. Getting those plants under the same agreements is really critically important. It is about bargaining power. It's about job security. It's about, will there be a long-term future for the UAW?
Are 100% of auto workers members of the UAW? I remember at one time there was a conversation about declining membership. Has that bounced back, recovered? About what is the percentage of workers that are represented?
Well, it has gotten diminishing because of the growth of the non-union transnationals, whether it's Toyota or Hyundai or Volkswagen, or name any of the foreign companies that come here. And even though they work with unions in their home countries because of good laws, here in the United States, we haven't had an industrial policy for generations. I don't care what's on the Democrats or Republicans. We have not passed legislation or fought for legislation that would protect workers. One of the things that I strongly advocate for is what they call sectoral bargaining laws. What sectoral bargaining laws, you have in Germany, you have a number of European countries, you have in the Scandinavian countries, you even got it in Argentina. What those laws do is they say you bargain as a sector. So the biggest unions and the biggest companies sit across the table, and whatever they bargain in economics and wages and benefits and health care and pensions and all that, they apply to everybody in the industry, whether they're in the union or not. If all these pundits who are saying it would put Ford, GM, Stellantis, make them financially unstable, if they really care about America, American workers, American jobs, American financial strength, they would be advocating for sectoral bargaining, but they're not.
They're
They
not.
don't care about the working
No, they don't
class.
care about it. They
They
don't.
want us to be dumb and stupid and poor.
Now,
And
speaking of
unions-
that,
the only thing that's going to counteract that is unions. And I think Sean demanding that the Biden administration has to do something. He's not going to come out and ask members to support him if they don't start doing a better job supporting workers.
Well,
To
there you
give
go.
all this money to these battery plants and have no requirements that they pay well, that they let workers decide without harassment, without a terror campaign.
or
they
if,
want to be in
or
unions.
even if they function and bring the jobs they promise. Now, I was down in Chattanooga when they rejected the UAW, and the guy said to me famously, "Now I might be a dumb redneck, but let me ask you something. Did the UAW stop GM from going to Mexico? No. So why do I want to antagonize the company?" And he's got a great point, and I don't think the Southern worker is anti-union. He just sees the reality. You lived through it. NAFTA did not work. You knew it wouldn't work, and you knew that the executives of these auto companies were advocating for that. Again, when we're talking about building new plants, like it's we're not really talking here. I mean, maybe Tennessee, right? It's Mexico, or if Canada wants to give us 6, 7, 8 billion, if I'm the big three. But I don't see the way back from what they did. You're talking about sectoral bargaining. That's over. It's over.
I don't think it is, Charlie. Is it a big mountain to climb? Yes, it is.
Huge
Is it
mountain.
very likely to happen tomorrow? No, but it'll never happen if you don't fight for it.
Oh, wait.
And so
Wait, Bob. Bob said, it's a huge mountain. Can we get over it? I don't know. That's a big deal from Bob King. But we have to try. Because if we don't try, Bob, there is no future, right? We're going to
you
be
don't fight, you never win.
first world workers have turned into secondhand shoppers if we don't try. That's what you're saying.
Right. Yep.
Jesus. Okay, what about this big chips bill that Biden threw? Oh, we got to build microchips that we invented, by the way. We don't own. It's the biggest chip manufacturer in the world's a Taiwanese company, and they want to come to Phoenix, right? I thought it was going to be an American chip maker, but it's a Taiwanese chip maker. And in order to build the plant, they're now bitching, Bob, that the American worker doesn't have the skill to build a state-of-the-art factory, and yet Biden's throwing billions at him, and he's the guy who's stumbling around going, these are great union jobs. And now this foreign national, this company that we're giving the money to, wants to import their own cheaper workers from Taiwan. Do you buy that? Can Americans not?
Absolutely not.
Go
Absolutely
on.
not. But
Preach,
that's
brother.
where we got to stand up and fight for American workers, right? That there are people who need jobs here, who need decent paying jobs that they can support a family on, not poverty level wages. Let me go back to one more thing about this companies being driven to financial instability. For 20 years, the UAW has been trying to get Ford, GM, and Stellantis, was Chrysler, now Stellantis, to support Medicare for all or a single payer national health care. They could have saved $6, $8 an hour. So, and they still haven't done it. So, it's so disingenuous for them to say that UAW demands fair wages and benefits for working class middle-class standard of living for the membership to make them financially unstable. No, it won't. Get out and help work with the UAW, get national health care pay passed, and fight for sectoral bargaining if you really want competitiveness. How do the German companies pay so much better than what we pay here, have better vacations, better benefits, better health care, and yet they're still very competitive globally because they have laws to protect the workers and protect investments in their countries.
Well, I know you got, first of all, I got to say, Karen, that was just the sharpest question of the evening is how do you manage that strike fund? That's just hanging there. So I guess that's just the inside baseball, but that is key. Bob, I want to leave this on a emotional note, like a human being. I'm from around here. I've worked in a few factories. Please describe the feeling about a human being marrying their life to a machine. You know, and the factories aren't well lit. You know, I mean, they're hard. I don't want to say miserable, but I've never had a good time working in a factory. It is a huge thing to ask a human being to make a career doing that. Is that still with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Describe a little bit before we let you go on this Labor Day.
Well,
what is work?
You're working on an assembly line. It looks easy if you're standing back, but try it for 10 minutes, try it for half an hour. You can see how your body aches, how it impacts your wrists, how it impacts your overall health and well-being. And then think of what Tavares and Solanus is doing to the workers in that company right now, doing this mandatory overtime. Which sadly, under the current agreement, they can get away with it. I know it's another issue that the UAW leadership is fighting to change. So it is a very hard existence being a factory worker in any factory. And then you look at Ultium. I don't know, Charlie, if you saw the report the UAW did on the horrendous conditions at the Ultium battery plant. It's just staggering. The chemicals that you're exposed to, the injuries that are going on in that plant, the number of workers that have been hurt. I mean, as important as the wages and benefits are to get the same thing as the GM agreement has, so is the health and safety provisions in our national agreements and the right to strike. I'm so proud of the UAW that we have maintained the right to strike even during the period of a contract, and health and safety and production standards and new rates and classifications in an outside contract. Very few unions have maintained that kind of power during the life of agreement, but the UAW has.
Thanks for that, Bob T. King. Before I let you go, real quick, you have shoes on? I know you're at home there. It's very, very nice.
Yes, I do.
Charming. Can you take off your right shoe, please? Just take it off for me. Just take it off. Take it off.
I know it's coming here, but I'll take it off.
Just go take that shoe off.
My shoes. They're made in America.
Oh, they are? Let's see. Wait, let's see.
New Balance. New Balance has only got a couple.
Let me see. What does it say? What's it say in there? What's it say in there? Does it say made in America? Look in there.
Yeah, I'm looking. They're definitely made in America. They're $9.90s. You can look it up online.
I don't look it up online. I'm looking it up on your foot, bro.
It's a good New Balance shoe.
I know, but I can't.
It's right on the tongue.
Oh, here it is, right there. There it is.
What's it say? What's it?
In USA.
Well, okay. Now, are you wearing a watch, Bob?
So is my shirt. So are my jeans.
Are you wearing a watch, Bob?
Don't ask him about his underwear.
I am. That's not made in America.
Oh, where's that made? I'm going to Taiwan. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's probably.
Let's
Apple Watch.
Let's look. Oh, come on, Bob. Where's that watch made now? Come on.
All over the world.
Yeah, right. That's right. Always low-wage workers.
Yeah, man. All right, listen, brother. God bless you and happy Labor Day. Thanks for. Oh, one more thing. You would think that a guy that spent his life in automobiles Bob was going to be in the studio today, right? Bob lives in Washtenaw, and he calls up. He goes, "I'm not going to be there at 5." I'm like, "Where you at, man?" 94 and State Street in Ann Arbor, and I'm like, "Bob, it's called traffic."
Well, especially now with all the construction, everything's closed.
You see the problem here?
Yeah.
Gosh, it was terrible.
No wonder they voted you out.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Thanks, Bob. God bless you, brother.
All right. Okay, everybody.
Bye-bye. But Charlie, let me say this. He's talking about the conditions and the implications of working in a factory. Wouldn't that be an argument for automation? It's like, okay, well, this reduces.
Okay, there's the door, Karen.
No, I'm just saying.
In fact, there is no fucking door because you know what it costs to get a union guy to come in and hang the fucking door?
I understand. I'm thinking in terms of argument from both sides.
I will give you a number. This is dated a couple years. But of the 2 million manufacturing jobs we lost, 60% of those, 40% come from international trade deals. 60% came from automation. So AI is on its way, but AI is a long way off from they have robots, but AI is a long way from laying pipes, building factories, doing brick, doing electricity, doing the work. There's a lot of dignity in there, and there's a lot of job security. All you got to do is just want to work. It's quite rewarding when you can build something. Having said that, let's check in with some sponsors.
Well, when it rains, the power goes out. And when the power goes out, the internet goes out. When the internet goes out, I call my friend Matt and Bernie at XG Service Group. Look at Bernie here on his hands and knees, giving it everything he's got. Look at that man crack. So busy, he forgot to wear a belt. There's Matt right there getting the board together. That's 734-245-4100 if you need Matt and Bernie to come take care of your voice over internet, your security cameras, off-campus access control, Wi-Fi, and cameras for homes and business. They'll design it for you. You got restaurants, they do drive-through systems, railroad cameras for public safety, total wireless camera systems for your home and business. Yeah, that's right. Call XG Services at 734-245-4100. Mention No Bullshit News Hour and receive 100% off.
I'm Grace Carroll, and I'm
100%.
third generation of American Coney Island. People say Detroit's a comeback city. I say, where you been? We've been here for over 100 years. My family's been here on the same corner, serving our famous proprietary American Coney Island hot dog. So like always, we're keeping things fresh, updated, and new. We'd love to have you come downtown and visit us, but if you can't, you can always go to AmericanConeyIsland.com, order a Coney kit, get it delivered fresh right to your door.
There you go. And the cheesecake is criminal. Did you guys know that? Dude broke in here, stole the cash registers. What a dope. I mean, stay in school, kid. When the restaurant's closed, there's no money left in the cash register. But as he's stealing it, he turns, he looks at the pie cooler and goes, and has himself some cheesecake. So good, it's criminal. American Coney Island. Okay, listen, Byron and I, for Labor Day, we decided we want to drive around our part of the world. You know, what they call the Rust Belt, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan. And we decided that we want to go to East Palestine, Ohio, where I'm just going to say what I feel. It smells to me like corporate greed. The railroad didn't want to clean up those cars that flipped over. They decided they're going to burn it, move the cars out of the way, and keep the trains running because trains mean money. But that was 6 months ago. And 2 months ago, the Ohio governor finally asked the President of the United States for an emergency declaration. President Biden has done nothing yet. So we felt our brothers and sisters, they are auto workers, oil workers, steel workers, railroad workers. Nice little town that just got bombed. They got poisoned. We thought we should go back and check up on them, and this is what we came up with. East Palestine, Ohio. Remember that place? A train of poisonous chemicals goes off the tracks. But instead of cleaning it up, the railroad company decides to light it on fire.
They decided to do an open burn of the chemicals to get the railroad tracks back up and running.
Igniting a mushroom cloud that releases toxins so deadly that it's banned in warfare.
They didn't want to take the time to do it the right way.
Spring and summer have gone, and so has the federal government. But the people are still here.
They run these trains full of hazardous chemicals through our communities like our lives are just a cost of doing business.
In the backyard of this tidy house on Taggart Street, a train flipped over. The fire climbed 4 stories tall. The house miraculously didn't burn, but Jamie worries about the unseen killers in the carpet, in the grass, in the water, In the dust kicked up from the work trucks driving by, trucks with the stenciling on the back that reads, "Have a nice day."
Right beyond the wood line, they're still cleaning up contaminated soil. They still have million-gallon water tanks full of contaminated water, mounds of contaminated soil, and 7 months later, it's still sitting right back there in the backyard.
Time is money, and money is made by keeping the trains running on time. And so Governor Mike DeWine and the railroad executives told the local fire chief that the cars were heating up and might explode, that dumping the poison and lighting it on fire was the only option. They gave the chief 13 minutes to decide. However, engineers from the chemical company that manufactured the vinyl chloride said in testimony that the cars were not overheating, that they were in fact cooling down. The chief later testified that he felt blindsided.
I'm not an expert, subject matter expert on that. I'm a fireman. I put fires out.
They're all being exposed to chemicals, either off-gassing or when that dirt touches their skin. That's all filled with chemicals.
This is Dr. Rick Tsai. He's been monitoring the cleanup. Unknown people call the police whenever he's around. You were out here just a couple days ago holding a newspaper where it says everything's okay with the water.
EPA says nothing is in here. Let's get in here. Oh boy. Wow. Wow.
That's correct. That's what the EPA said. They can find no evidence of chemicals holding that newspaper as Randy and I are filming, and chemicals are just coming up at our feet with dead fish.
Is the government running the recovery?
No, they left it up to Norfolk Southern.
They left it up to the railroad?
Yes, yes.
The East Palestine calamity reminds me of Flint. But unlike Flint, the culprit here has been left in charge. Where's FEMA?
Because it's not a disaster site, President Biden has never signed the bill. There is no FEMA here.
So the government left the recovery to the railroad?
Yes.
The government never gave you any water?
That's correct.
The government never cleaned your home?
That's correct.
The government, the president, never came to visit?
That's correct.
You never got a federal check to help you get through the hard time?
That is correct.
Oh my God. The town's got an eerie vibe. Some felt cheated. Others are employed by the railroad. The workers cleaning up don't wear respirators or hazmat suits. Some don't even wear shirts. So I went to go speak with the people in charge of this town. Hi. Is the mayor here?
He's just part-time, so he's hardly ever here, actually.
Yeah, hey, is Chief Drabick here, please?
No, he would be over at the other fire station at Clark Street.
Yeah, no, nobody there.
Okay, yeah. If he's not over there, he's not available anywhere.
So no chief?
Can't pass our barricade, sir, sorry.
What barricade?
This rock.
How come?
No comment.
Well, there's no official posting. But whose authority? Can we get over there just to get a shot of that?
No, sir.
We just can't show the people of America
Look,
what's happened here?
I'm going to direct you to the community center.
The PIO
Welcome
Market
Center.
Street. Yeah.
If you go speak with them, they would be more than happy to assist you.
Hi, I'm Rachel Basso, US EPA.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Can we interview you?
I'm not actually someone that talks on camera. Do you mind turning the camera off?
Who's doing the testing?
Well, it depends on what you're talking
The
about.
water, if there's phosgene and vinyl chloride in the water.
Well, I'm not someone that really could be speaking to this. I'm just a public information officer, but we can get someone to answer your questions for you.
How long would it take it done it the right way?
The right way, they estimate if they were to drill into the tankers, it would have taken at least 5 days. And keep in mind, the temperature was going down, and it was a very quick get the trains back running by blowing them up. And they're losing millions of dollars a day, each day of those 5 days at least, that the tracks would have been closed.
East Palestine, Ohio. Detroit, Flint, Youngstown. People in places like this know the real color in America is green.
Doesn't matter if we're white, black, Asian, Latino, it's because we're poor.
And if you don't got it, you don't exist.
That's what you always say, Charlie. You always say that.
Wait, you guys, we worked this out in rehearsal. You're supposed to just let a pall of quietude.
Oh, nobody told me. I'm sorry.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Can we talk now?
I'm just fucking around. Yeah.
I know, but that's what you always say, and that, to me, kind of puts it right in your face where people can see it. And like she said, it's because they're poor. And I don't like to use that word. They're economically disadvantaged.
Yeah, that doesn't... Bill Arnold doesn't put that in his songs. Like,
I know.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I was born economically disadvantaged.
I just...
Coal miner's daughter.
Charlie, I think poor is a state of mind. I think, being...
No, poor is the state of your bank account.
Yeah, I understand, but I also think that it's fixable. I think once you embrace the fact that you are economically compromised, then you accept that. Well, but that's another conversation.
You want to know you're economically compromised. They dropped a bunch of fucking poison gas on your house and try to pretend. You guys saw the beginning of that piece. Yep. That how far did that shit look like Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, it did.
Like how far did that go? And what goes up comes down. Mm-hmm. So don't pretend it's not there. You poke the water. Here come the fish. Here come the...
And how could the lady say, I'm the public information officer, I can't talk about that?
Yeah,
yeah, like,
ludicrous.
Then who do you talk to?
Yeah, that for me wasn't as clear, but I would like... I'm gonna post that, the whole scene at The Rock, right?
Yeah.
Like, these goofballs making $14 an hour being fake cops. I'm like, well, but like, is there an emergency declaration?
He was making that up.
No, I mean, it's just the railroad's left to run it. And I'm like, I can go there if I want to. And we did. We went through the woods, right? But $14 an hour, like you're running it. Where's FEMA? They're not in town. That was the EPA, and it was a welcome center. And it would look like a converted coffee shop. And in fact, they had a little sandwich board outside, and written in pastel chalk was like, "Welcome to the EPA Welcome Center." And I'm like,
what do they do?
Barn dance tonight? What the fuck are you talking about?
But what are they there to do?
How you doing?
Push people along.
Yeah, I mean...
And I go like this. I'm like, well, I need some questions answered. Like, who's actually doing the testing? The EPA, or is the railroad paying a contractor who in turn gives it to the EPA?
Right.
Because there's an argument, and you saw the water, as if there's anything there, and obviously it's there. You can see it. Yeah. Why is it that workers are bare-chested cleaning this shit up? That's a hazmat suit. That's a respirator. That's you saw it. They got yellow vests and a hard hat. It's the hard hat for. Where's OSHA?
Yeah, you're right.
It's bullshit.
Hey,
Biden, it's bullshit.
I was going to say, where's your federal government? Where's your president? Where's the oversight? Where's the accountability?
So economically disadvantaged, nobody's selling their house. I also learned this from the lawyer representing the people. The railroad is left to figure out what the valuation of the home is, and the lawyer representing the people goes, well, I want to see your work product. Naturally, you're the lawyer for the people who got harmed. I want to see how you're evaluating.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's attorney-client privilege. Say what? What the fuck, motherfucker? Oh, by the way, Norfolk Southern. I'm here, dudes. You're not getting away with it. What's the valuation? We're looking now. We're going to be on Cuomo tonight at 8 o'clock just doing a special here. Those left behind. Like Flint, we're still with you. Benton Harbor, we know. Detroit, we love you. We're here. No way are you just going to throw some bullshit number out there and let guys walk around half naked cleaning up your poison because possibly, how's that? Possibly you wanted to save some money. You couldn't. Here's the other thing. Those cars, they were afraid they were going to blow up. We got to drain them and light it on fire because if we don't, they're going to blow up. And that could create shrapnel for a mile. Okay, great, fine. Then why did you put blasting caps on them to open them up?
It's $14 an hour, Charlie.
Hello? Yeah. Hello, I get it. We don't want them to blow up, so let's blow them up.
Wow.
That's the logic here. And the chief of fire.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what's going on, man. You know what's going on. So just like, I don't know. I want to say Happy Labor Day, but you know, you see what the laborers get.
Yeah,
You heard
that's true.
Bob.
Short end of the stick.
You heard Bob. All right, let's move on. We got a good one here, man. We got a new segment we're calling. Oh, I'm calling. Nobody else knows it's called that. It's called Red Man Walking.
Oh, that ought to be good.
And Red Man Walking, because you know, Red is a naturalist. Yes, Red.
We saw his sauce.
Red medicates with the weed. He's got great vision. It's great vision. And when he's feeling stressful or anxious, he's trouble sleeping, he uses. Do you use Next Evo? You've tried it? Yes, you have. Yeah. They help you sleep? It did, didn't it? Yeah. He's over there.
He's got a high tolerance level, so if it helps him, then.
Well, remember, I think he's high right now.
Is he?
You went back there and you smoked some weed. You fucking did.
What is he eating?
He did. He's eating. He's like, I didn't. And he's just nibbling. But the thing about Next Evo, the CBD supplements for stress or sleep, 2 complexes, they don't get you high.
Right.
They're using the natural properties plus a dissolution in water so your body can absorb it. That you've tried them. They help. Yeah, I know.
They do.
I know your daughter likes them. So we're here to tell you where to get them and get a deal on them. nextevo.com/nobs to get 25% off and a free bottle of premium pure CBD, $50 value, limit 1 use per customer. That's nextevo.com/nobs, all natural CBD.
/
Helps with anxiety, wait a minute, do not say that. Right. No, that does it. No, right. I get it. Inflammation, but you can't do that because they're being honest. Right? They're not making those claims because they're not scientifically tested. But they do help.
Yeah, and my thing is, and especially now, you know, people are looking for natural alternatives to being part of the whole, you know, medicinal thing.
Indeed.
So try it, and you know, it may work. If it does, then use it. If it doesn't, try another one of the products until you find something that works for you.
My brother's wife, my brother's son-in-law, your daughter, Mark, Red, my wife, I've had people try them, and no one said they didn't.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, give it a try. Free $50 bottle. And there you go. / Now, here's the question, the burning question, the modern question. Not AI. Not will we be replaced by machines. It's none of that. It's not will the UAW go on strike. It's not that.
What is it?
It's Trump or Biden. And so Red goes where no pollster goes, which is basically his neighborhood, right? He just moved out of the Normandy and he's on the west side there. And this is key. Come on, Karen, let's move the trains, okay?
Okay.
Let's move the trains. We'll get him over here. What are you eating? He's eating CBD.
Okay.
All right, so Red Man Walking, Trump or Biden? Come on over, Red.
If somebody walked up to you right now, put a gun in your head and said, hey, you gotta pick one to save your life, who would you vote for right now, gun to head?
Man, I gotta go for Trump, man. Shit.
For Trump?
Yeah.
Do it matter that he could be a felon?
It don't matter right now, shit. Woo. I gotta take the orange man.
And why would you vote for him?
Orange man, oh man, he helps out, man. You know, he kind of tight, but hey, he share the wealth. That's all about. Get health and get wealth.
Right. Either one, they hold nothing political to give to the world. So I wouldn't vote for neither one of them. But if I had a choice, it was Biden.
Oh, I just gotta vote.
Gotta vote.
I would vote for Trump.
You vote for Trump, okay?
Only because he young, he moves better. The other motherfuckers, like he about to die. I know they both old. I wouldn't judge him on the felon part though. You know, it wouldn't matter to me.
All right.
Just depending on what he did. You know, he ain't fucking babies. You know, he fuck no babies. He fuck no babies. He stole some shit. I done stole shit before. Personally, Trump gave us some money. I'm for Trump, my nigga.
For Trump. So
I'm for Trump, my nigga.
I voted for Biden, to be honest with you, because I just knew he was going to die in office, and we was going to have a black lady in office for history. That's my only purpose. Not because he know what he doing and what he ain't doing and this and that. I'm trying to, a black woman first time being a president would be major. I don't give a fuck if she get in office and fuck it up. Matter of fact, she can't fuck it up more than what it's fucked up is now.
I'm going for Trump.
And why?
Say Trump too. I said,
okay, so you say both of y'all say Trump.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right?
I said Trump too.
Now why you say Trump?
Because when he was in office, he made sure we got paid.
And now, why you say Trump?
Came off that cake.
You say Biden?
Well, you know what? Truck an asshole, but he put some money back in the city. You know what I'm saying?
So you wouldn't care if he a convicted criminal or none of that?
Shit, we all convicted criminals, motherfucker. Shit, we all got felonies. We all like pussy.
Well,
are you the new pollster?
Hey, most accurate poll I've ever done. Real people.
So if you had to vote today and had to pick one, who would you vote for?
I hate to say it'd be Trump. And I was not a Trump fan at all. Don't like the dude, but I mean, looking at the condition of the country, what's going on, I mean, he did keep some finances rolling, and he actually was telling the truth about a couple of things.
Like
the Democrats was playing dirty behind the scenes. I mean, it's proven with the dossier. Look at Joe and his kid. Look at the cocaine they just found in the White House. I mean, I'm just saying.
Now, Karen.
Yes.
So, turnabout's fair play. If gun to head, Trump or Biden, you had to, right now, today, who would you vote for?
I don't want to say.
Yeah, well, you asked Red, so
what?
I think you go,
say it. Just because
say it.
Do as I do.
Say
Wait a minute,
it.
Isn't that the thing in the state of Michigan? I'd have to take a closer look at Trump. I would, and I mean, and I know everybody thinks that this is my thing. I don't care who you are. I want to know who I'm dealing with. So if you are, a bad person, have done something wrong or whatever, I need to know who you are and not pretending to be something or committed to something that you never fulfill and that you're not. People forget about Biden and Harris's track record. They just overlooked it and dismissed it, and they were both running on something that neither of them had a right to stand on.
And you see, it took the regular people to tell the truth, to get the people who have more to lose to tell the truth.
Yeah.
I
want to say.
That's why it's important to do that.
What about you, Charlie? Hold up. What about you, Charlie?
Okay, this is real simple. Never have I voted for a Clinton. Never have I voted for a Bush. Never have I voted for a Trump. And never have I voted for a Biden. And I'm probably going to keep that record going.
But if they're the only two and you have gun to head.
Pull the trigger.
Gun to head.
You're next. Mark. Mark, what about you?
Pull the trigger, I already said.
Okay,
Yeah.
forget that.
I do want to throw this out here, though, which was very surprising, because if you were to search online and read what they say the majority of black people feel about Trump, it's really not a good opinion. But going and doing this piece, and the Democrats should really hear this, you lost a lot of people you always thought you had. And that's what this poll showed me.
Well, people that they took for granted. That's the thing.
Took for granted,
and a lot of Democrats and a lot of black Democrats are starting to feel taken for granted. Now, there was a huge rally the other day in Georgia, blacks for Trump. Now,
I don't know if I call that huge.
Okay.
But there was a rally.
It was a large rally that was in support. I'll tell you this. I think if the election were held today, and I said this on Fox the last election, you're going to wake up surprised. I do think that Trump would win, regardless of whether or not he's found guilty of a crime. If he's not incarcerated and can run, he's going to win.
Just know this. Whether he wins or not, every poll he's ever been involved in, he blows it out.
Yeah.
Right? He's supposed to get crushed by Biden. He's supposed to get crushed by Clinton, and he didn't.
But then you have like a 60% lead now?
You got to. No, he doesn't. It's like neck and neck within the margin of error, but I believe it's a little bit higher than that. It's got to be, because you just heard it here now. Now let me go on to this, because there's something very beautiful that I want to show you. This beauty is brought to you by ADR, overseeing more than $250 million in private construction projects since 2001. And if you're hearing me, Norfolk Southern, you might want to call ADR, get the job done right, get it done on time, cutting the red tape without cutting safety. You might want to do it. It's a free consultation. 248-318-9424. Call Barry Allentuck. Get it done right. ADR Consultants, 248-318-9424. Now, Byron and I decided we're just going to drive through all our towns of significant size. East Palestine, of course, spiritually. Youngstown, Ohio. Lordstown, Ohio, the site of the GM factory since 1966. You heard Bob talk about it and maybe getting a little raise, but it's bankrupt. Taiwanese bought it. Akron, rubber capital of the world. They don't make rubber there anymore. Cleveland, there's one steel plant left. Toledo, we still got some jobs there. Detroit. I was talking to Bill Arnold, and his band, One Ton Trolley, good friends of the show. Do you have some words for the images we saw? And when we put this together, I would encourage y'all to go to YouTube and watch it, or you can fuck Facebook. I can't believe the UAW is doing Facebook Live. Fuck Zuckerberg, dude. Just fuck them. Go on to X. They don't edit. But watch this. I mean, the words alone, if you're driving, are just beautiful. But we were all talking about it, and what's that ginger dude down there from Virginia? What's his name? Oliver Anthony?
Yep.
Right? The guy that wrote Rich Men North of Richmond? Yep. Well, we live north of Richmond, and we don't know too many rich men. But there's a lot of commonality with what's going on with the Southern man. And this is what's beautiful about art, and maybe the new tools, is it's an answer back. From the northern man to the southern man, this is what we got to say. We're with you. We agree. And I just think it's gorgeous. I think it's visually gorgeous. I think the words are great. And I want to leave you with that. It's One Ton Trolley and the stylings of Byron Goggin, the videographer. And I hope you like it. I'm going to send it to Oliver, I think. Just to know, you're not the only one. We're talking back, right? Doesn't matter what the literati's saying. We can speak for ourselves. So anyway, good work. Work is primal. Work is important. Work makes you who you are. It's part of it.
Overrated.
No, it's really not. Work's really a reason.
You got to work smart, though.
Yeah, work definitely that.
Works at 9 a.m. in the morning for me.
9:15 for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, come on.
Be there at 8:45.
You making that call at 9 o'clock? Gonna be a little bit late. Traffic. You're on a bicycle. I know. Big crash in the bike lane.
That should make the scooters go faster.
All right, everybody. This is beautiful. I think. See you next week.
There's some things about me you should know. And there's some things I never want to show. I never want to be the one to hide, not share what's broke inside, but trust is key. Sometimes things we say can't be unseen, and sometimes people flaunt them when they're mean. We never want to be the one to bleed, so we hang on to our greed and push away. We never want to be the one to cry, our fist thrust to the sky and think we win. Well, don't tell me that I should turn aside, things that I don't think are right I see. And don't tell me that I should close my eyes to this three-ring circus built on lies I see. No, don't tell me I see, I see. give away our power to decide to those who don't abide by our needs. We line up just like cattle to the blade. Our decisions have all been made conveniently. Well, don't tell me not to be surprised. Complications will arise, I see. And don't tell me you think it's for the best. Get in line with all the rest, I see. And don't tell me that I should draw the shade. Disregard